If your child is going through palatal expansion right now, or you're about to start, I need you to hear this before you go one more month without myofunctional therapy. There's a new study that just came out, and it looked at kids who got expansion alone versus kids who got expansion plus myofunctional therapy. And here is the conclusion to that study word for word. Integrating myofunctional therapy with rapid palatal expansion is significantly more effective than structural correction alone for restoring nasal breathing. This multidisciplinary approach addresses both anatomical deficiencies and underlying dysfunctional habits, ensuring more stable clinical outcomes in pediatric orthodontics. And this isn't just a little bit better, not might be better, but significantly more effective. So that's not a small difference. That's a study telling us something we need to pay attention to. Hi, I'm Chelsea, and I'm a myofunctional therapist and owner of Breathing into Life Myofunctional Therapy. And here's what I hear all the time from parents and even orthodontists. Let's do the expansion first and see how it goes. We can always add a therapy later if we need to. And I understand why that sounds reasonable, but I want to challenge that a little today because this study gives us real data on what later is actually costing our kids. So if your child is still congested after expansion, still mouth breathing, still restless at night, you are not imagining it, and you are not wrong to ask why. This is a known gap in how expansion is often approached. So let's look at what the researchers actually did. They followed 40 children, ages 8 to 12, and all of them had narrow palates and oral breathing habits, breathing through their mouth. And they split them into two groups. Group 1 got rapid palatal expansion by itself, and Group 2 got that same expansion plus 4 months of myofunctional therapy. Then they checked at the start and they checked again 6 months later using a mirror test for nasal airflow, and clinical scoring for things like grinding, nighttime movement, drooling, and lip seal. Now, here's what they found. In the combined group, expansion plus therapy, 90% of those kids achieved symmetrical nasal airflow. In the expansion only group, that number was 60. And when it came to oral breathing specifically, still breathing through the mouth at 6 months, the therapy group dropped to just 10%, and the expansion only group stayed at 40%. So every single outcome they measured favored the combined approach, not just breathing, but grinding, nighttime restlessness, drooling, lip seal, all of it. So here's what that means in plain terms, that the bone can move. And expansion does that job well. But the muscle pattern, the tongue posture, the mouth breathing habit, the lip incompetence, that doesn't correct itself just because the palate got wider. And this is really the heart of it. The habit, the tongue resting low, the mouth hanging open, the mouth breathing, that's often what caused the narrow palate to begin with. So if we widen the palate, but never retrain the muscles, we're treating the result, but not the cause. And that's why relapse happens. That's why some kids finish expansion and still aren't breathing well. So what do you do with this? If your child is about to start expansion, I want you to ask your orthodontist about pairing it with myofunctional therapy from the beginning. Not if it doesn't work, not later, but from day one. And if your child already has or had an expander, it's not too late. Starting myofunctional therapy now can still make a real difference in how that treatment holds. And here's one simple thing you can check tonight. I want you to look at your child while they're sleeping. Is their mouth closed? Are they breathing through their nose? That one observation will tell you a lot. And this is exactly why I built my free training, because I want you to know what questions to ask and what to look for before, during, and after expansion, not after months have gone by wondering why nothing's changed. You can watch it in the link below.